So, here we are, back at my roots. This is going to be a live stream, kick off 2021 right, with the greatest game ever made. Still, in my opinion, still one of the greatest games. It does have problems. I'm not going to say that it is completely free of its problems. In fact, I think there's a lot of problems in this game that could be considered a deal breaker to most people, but not to me. I love this game so much, and I figured, you know what, year 2021 is going to be the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. Why not go back to some old Zelda? I know I played Majora's Mask on this channel in the past. I'm pretty sure I deleted the stream archives for it, and the reason why I did is because the capture card that I used back then had synchronization issues with the commentary. Hopefully we won't have that problem here. It should be perfectly synced. I am playing on the original GameCube. Well, not the original GameCube, but the ports to the GameCube, so there's going to be a couple of minor differences from N64, but it is largely going to be the same thing. Good morning, everyone. It is a new day. It is the dawn of a new day today, and we're going to play The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. Still, to this day, my favorite game of all time. There's only so much that I can say about it. I'll gush about it more as we continue on with the stream, but while you guys are funneling in, hello, welcome all, welcome Ragnarok, welcome Hey I'm Wolf, and all you other fancy folk out there. We're gonna start things off real soon. Ooh, look how great this game is. Here's the thing about Majora's Mask's art style, or the graphics. The big problem people will always point out is that it looks garbage. This is not incorrect. This game looks terrible, but I mean, this game was made on inferior technology, what can you do? The thing is, though, is that this game is also creepy as hell, and the gross look of the game actually contributes to the discomfort that you feel in this game. Alright, here we go. We're gonna get things started. Oh, this is so exciting. You know what? We will start a new file of this. One thing I was considering doing in the past, maybe I'll do this like somewhere down the month, but... Oh wait, I think this is the file that I used for... no, make a new one. Yes, so what's gonna happen, we're gonna start a new playthrough, but in terms of completion, I think in between streams I might collect some heart pieces and stuff, because I want to actually 100% this game before the 35th anniversary, which is in February, so we have the entire month to get that done. Shouldn't be a problem, but it'll be like every once in a while I'll like check into this game, play it out. And also, by the time the 25th anniversary comes out, I'll also try to make a clip show. I don't, like, apparently it is possible to make a highlight from YouTube, but I don't know the exact way that we can make like a, you know, we're gonna have a clip show of all the highlights of the stream, so for people that missed the stream, don't worry about it. We're going to try to have it all out compiled into one video, so here we go. We're gonna go with the typical name that we do for what we did for Skyward Sword. I recently replayed Skyward Sword, and the entire time I was thinking, man, I love Majora's Mask, let's play Majora's Mask. And here we are. And how are you guys doing today? Also, bit of a warning, Majora's Mask is my favorite game of all time, so forgive me if I get a little bit quieter than usual. Also, another thing you'll have to forgive me about that is the controller that I have is quite noisy, so if you hear the clicking on the microphone, keep it to yourself. In the land of Hyrule, there echoes a legend held dearly. Oh, we don't know anymore. A boy who, after battling evil and saving Hyrule, crept away from the lands that made him a legend. Done with the battles he once waged across time, he embarked on a journey, a secret and personal journey. A journey in search of a beloved and invaluable friend. A friend with whom he parted ways when he finally fulfilled his heroic destiny and took his place among the legends. Oh, is that a tree? Or is that a brick wall? Yes, my favorite game looks like garbage. I love this game so much. Akio, hello! I'll save the greetings for when this cutscene is done, because there's some stuff I want to mention about this too. I've mentioned it earlier, but it bears repeating, and I'll keep on repeating this for as long as I have to. Just because a game looks bad, you have to consider that it was built on inferior technology. Obviously, any game is going to age. Even the ones that age well, there's going to be some cracks here and there after like 10 or 20 years. But what gives Majora's Mask its edge is specifically how rough it looks. The entire game is about being unsettling and creepy, and I think the remake looks objectively nicer, but I don't necessarily think it looks better, simply because it looks a lot more sparkly. It looks like Ocarina of Time. Whereas this game, while this game also looks like Ocarina of Time from the N64, but the dated visuals of it all and the really strange art style of it mixes really, really well. And that's kind of why I keep going back to this version in comparison to other ones, and why I still think visually this is the most interesting, or the most fascinating out of all the Zelda games, because there's no other Zelda game that's like it. Even Twilight Princess tried to go for a bit of a creepy motif as well, but I'd say that it was more dark than creepy. That game, the art style, while still also very good looking and distinct, it still had its, it took itself a lot more seriously, where this one has a bit more of a zany dissonance. Or sorry, the zany tone was a lot more dissonant with the actual themes of this game. A lot of little themes that resonate with me too. I remember, how old was I when I first played this game? I think I was 13 years old when I first played this game. It was a long time ago, it was crazy. This game is like 20 years old now. But yes, I was about 13 when I first played this game, and this was, no, I was like 12 or 11. Because I was 13 when Twilight Princess came out, so yeah, and I was playing this game in anticipation of Twilight Princess. Man, so much history. Like, the Zelda series in Dai it goes way back in my life. And, it's one of those games where, I'm really excited to replay them. Oh no, we don't have the magical spin yet? Oh, we have to talk to the fairy first. Well, actually, there isn't really much point in us getting groupies in this game, right? So, let's go. Ooh, also, I want to talk about time travel. Because time travel is a thing that is... Oh. Oh yeah, also think about this game, the platforming sucks. And this game lets you know it right at the beginning. Oh, I have always liked this visual, the surrealistic atmosphere. I'm trying to recognize some of these. I see redeads and clocks, and that's it. I've noticed that a lot of people have been replaying this game lately, and I think 2021 is the perfect time to do it, because it's the year of the cow, and there's a side quest that involves rescuing cows from aliens. It's a very good game. Oh, I love this game. It's weird, though. So, in terms of, all the issues that I take with this game, none of that bothers me in the same way that similar games would. And I think part of that is nostalgic bias. But let's talk about this scene first, before I continue about nostalgia. Apparently, this cutscene, legend has it, that this cutscene was the result of an overworked person having a nightmare. So they had a literal nightmare about Deku Scrubs. I think it was one of the people that worked on this game had a nightmare because they were overworking themselves. And they figured, you know what, that's messed up, we should put it in this game for children. Oh no, I'm a marketable asset now. I'm a marketable plushie. No! No! Okay, so going back to nostalgia, though, I think nostalgia isn't as... The use of nostalgia isn't inherently a bad thing when it comes to talking about games. And I know that a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but the thing about nostalgia is that nostalgia is a sentiment, it's an emotional sentiment that you feel, right? So the thing is, though, is that if a game is old, it made you feel a certain way, and games need to make you feel a certain way. And nostalgia is one of the many things you can feel. It's not invalidated just because it's not something that everyone can relate to, because the argument can be made that there's a lot of emotions that people won't necessarily resonate or relate to as well. So the thing about Majora's Mask is that it has issues regarding its platforming, its controls. The overall structure of this game actually is kind of annoying, but that doesn't bother me. Part of that is because tension is a big part of this game, and being able to respawn at very inconvenient places while a timer is constantly ticking down is a huge tension thing. But, like, I think that's, again, it's part of its charm. It's not perfect. It's not that you know, that discomfort is a good thing, that it needs to absolutely be in all games, but that's one of the many things that makes Majora's Mask resonate with me. Scalo, how you doing? Good morning. Oh, red text. We're bringing back red text. Oh, cool. Also, just for you guys that are dropping in, and if you guys need to leave the stream prematurely, I am planning on chopping it up. I am planning on chopping up the stream into a highlight clip show in the future. Yeah, well, then again, I think all the stuff like up to now is probably going to be ending up in there, because it's me talking about how nostalgia isn't necessarily a bad thing when it comes to looking back on games, because you kind of need that too. Again, emotional resonance takes different forms. And it's not to say that, you know, nostalgia should be a defining factor, but you're wrong in thinking that it's not a factor at all. Oh man, I'm already... See, is there any way that could fix the clicky button on this? I mean, I guess I could buy another GameCube controller. Most of the GameCube controllers that are available these days tend to be knockoff brands, yeah? Is it? But yeah, that's kind of the thing about this game, though, is that, like, there's going to be some platforming, but this entire segment is going to kind of help me warm up, because I know that the Deku Palace has, like, some really notorious cameras. It begins! And it starts off with thinking, yes! This is the gameplay that I live for. This is the gameplay. This is the gameplay that I crave. This nonsense. This awful trash. I don't know. The way that I talk about this game, it doesn't sound like I like it very much, but trust me, I love this game. No, it's gonna be interesting though, because like, I know that the combat was a thing that like I had very mixed feelings of. Oh yeah, Tattle's a great character. I'd say she's still my favorite out of the sidekicks. I still like her more than... Like, Midna's great too, but I'd say that Tattle takes the cake for just being, like... She has a... Like, you know, both of the characters, they both have a thing that motivates them all throughout the entire game. Should I interact with this? No, we keep moving. Time marches on. This is Majora's Mask. Time marches on. Oh yeah, and they brought back the spiral hallways from the Forest Temple. Ah, yes. And look at that transition from cutscene to gameplay. Metal Gear Solid, eat your heart out. Naughty Dog, eat your heart out. Look at that transition from cutscene to gameplay. You know what? We're gonna replay that for the clip show. Check this out. Uh-huh. Alright, that's enough. Okay, my plan... well, I wouldn't call it terrible, but I've had better fates. Something I like about older games as well, like particularly with retro games, is that because they didn't have all sophisticated technology, they needed to they had to combine various elements of their games in order to get a point across. Whereas with most modern games today, it's very easy to just choreograph a cutscene in order to convey an emotion and then put on award-winning music to get you to feel a certain emotion too. That's not a bad thing, but the thing about older games is that, yeah, like little moments of just, like little nods, little tiltings of heads, that little moment of Tattle hiding behind the hat tells you everything that you need to know about what kind of a character she is. Like, on all the old Zelda cutscenes, all the old Zelda cutscenes as well, they didn't really rely so much on, you know, having characters emote super often. It's making the pieces move in very simple ways in order to convey an idea. Oh, the dawn of the first day. This is the game that taught me that 72 divided by 3 is 24. Okay. So, the way that I want this to work is I want to, for the next 4 weeks, I want to clear a dungeon. No match for the Great Fairy, you say? So, okay, so that's the thing. Every week, I want to clear a dungeon. There are 4 dungeons in this game, meaning that I may need to squeeze 2 dungeons into 1 session. And then in between those sessions, I'll just clear a bunch of maps. Or I will, like, after I beat the second dungeon, I'll do a lot of stuff to lead up. I probably might end up doing the entire pre-Great Bay. Like, I might... Oh, man. I might end up doing the entire Great Bay storyline. Which is ironic, because the reason why I want to replay this game is because it was the Year of the Cow, or the Year of the Ox. And that would mean all the oxes. I might just record that scene, actually, for just for the highlight show. I might just have cows for that one. How long will the stream be? I'm planning, I hope it works out, but I want to finish this stream after we beat Woodfall Temple. It's gonna be tricky because I normally, whenever I do Woodfall Temple, I usually gather a bunch of masks first. Usually I get the Blast Mask and the Bunny Hood first, and I think there might be another mask that I usually get. Oh, and the Bremen Mask. So, I want to... I don't know how long that's going to take. I don't know how long that'll take, but the idea is we're going to attempt to get to there. I'll do another thing we could end up doing is just... side quests or dungeons? Side quests or dungeons for the streams? We'll do either or, and then if we're missing anything, I'll probably just plan it out as the weeks go by. Although there's nothing wrong with like having it be the first week of February. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out somehow. Oh man, Clocktown. This also has a lot of... Yeah, Clocktown is a very vibrant place. This was like the precursors of Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that's the thing. I know what I'm doing, but the last time I played this game was in 2017. And I know that failure is very, very strict in this game. So I gotta be careful. But I should be okay. We will just do what we can, and then in between streams, I might do a thing saying, okay, so I did this, this, and this, and this, but continue. Because the thing is, the Pirate Fortress, I actually don't remember too much about it. We'll figure it out. because I noticed, I looked at the other file that I did for the last stream, and I was pretty minimal with the heart containers. I literally only had like 7 heart containers. I have 6 weeks until the 35th. Okay, that's all the time I need. I might still do some stuff in between, but that might just be for heart containers. That might just end up being for heart containers. Okay. I could talk... Well, I'm going to talk about time travel eventually, because I know that time travel is a topic that has recently come back up when talking about the Zelda series. Because I know... Okay, so, like, almost every Zelda game... Sorry, sorry, that's not true. A lot of Zelda games... Most of the Zelda games have incorporated time travel of some kind. The thing is, though, is that time travel was never the point. Like, the mechanics of time travel was never the point, so much as the act of time travel. And that's something that I like to bring up a lot when it comes to... This is inverted, right? Actually, no, we'll get into that later. It's kind of early. Let's enjoy playing hide and seek. Yeah, I'm ready. I should remember where all the kids are. Touch the kids' adventure! Ayo! Oh no, someone's gonna take that clip out of context and I'm gonna get incriminated. If you were a specific distance and you do, if you're a specific distance, like you're at the absolute threshold of where their detection is for that first one, and then you do an attack, you should get there fast enough. Oh no, I'm slipping. Oh wow. Wait, did he try to pull a Metal Gear Solid on us? Hide inside that box? I'm so excited that my hands are slipping off of this controller. Okay, the next kid is... The other fun thing about this game, too, is that you can hear their footsteps. A lot of neat little... See? Once you reach the threshold, like, that's right at where they notice you, right at the aggro range. Hit the attack, you have just enough distance to get to them in time. No! I messed it up! Oh, boy. I actually can't remember how to get some of these. Because that's the thing, once I get back to human form, what's going to happen there is... I'm going to end up collecting 3 more masks. The problem... Okay, so one thing about this game, and the reason why it's a turnoff for a lot of people, is that you do have to wait for a lot of stuff to happen. Wait, where did the kid go? I feel like this happened last time I did this. No, don't do it! Do I have to do it again? Oh, do you know, okay, let's go into the building. So that's the thing though, like there is a bit of like waiting, and that's kind of why I'm hesitant to do some side quests on stream, because a lot of it is just to be standing around. And then if I fail that, then we have to repeat that process over again. Dun, 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 dun. I wonder what the number's going to be. No way! No scrubs! I guess not. I guess majority rules. 1, 2, 5, 2, 3, 4, 1. 52341. Oh, let me write that down, actually. No, I'll just put it in the chat. You guys don't mind, right? No. Oh, I already spelled it wrong. I'm just gonna use that as a notepad. I hope I spelled it right. Okay. Is it possible to... I don't think I can open the bank account yet. Because I'm still a kid. Like, I'm a Deku scrub. Yeah, I'll figure it out. For the Zelda anniversary, it'd be cool if they added the possibility of the mods, like randomization, faster text. Yeah, like that would be cool, but Nintendo is really weird when it comes to stuff. Like they'll introduce a really good idea and they'll find a way to fumble it. Oh, I can. Okay, I thought I was under the impression that kids can't open bank accounts. Okay, so herein lies the first thing about time travel. This is already a weird time travel thing. Because Majora's Mask, it introduces the time travel mechanic of you go back in time and you lose everything that you've gained except for a few select items. Which makes sense because, you know, it's anti-frustration. They don't want to annoy you with a whole, oh, I have to do all that again. Yeah, it's annoying, but, like, it's pretty much just to say that, you know, you have to essentially feel like you're resetting all your progress, but then you keep certain items like masks. You keep all your masks and all the gear that you obtain. Hang on a second. So the thing is, when it comes to... okay, time travel in this game, it already breaks its own rules because it establishes that you're going to lose everything but your key items. The ammunition and the rupees all go, unless you deposit it in a bank. Even if you deposit... oh no! Oh no! Okay. If you deposit it in a bank, then suddenly you don't lose that money. Okay. So you go back in time and you lose all the money, but then if you were on the third day and you deposited like 100 rupees, then you go back to the first day, back in time, and you get those rupees back. It's weird. It makes very little sense, but again, it's like it's a gameplay thing. But therein lies my point, is that time travel mechanics weren't really the heart of Zelda stories so much as it was that time travel was the... time travel is the recurring theme, but not the actual mechanics themselves. Oh, I feel like I did this last time, where it was just an awkward angle. Rock, hello! Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter or Mars. Oh yeah, look at that 64-bit booty. No, the banker uses the stamp as an identification. To say that, oh, who are you? Let me just check your stamp. Oh yeah, you're Link. Okay. I guess the hand wave is that it's magical. It's like it's a special stamp. That's kind of what the gist is. It's a special stamp. It is a special stamp. That is kind of supposed to be the main thing. But again, like, the point of the Legend of Zelda series isn't the mechanics of time travel. Because I know that in Skyward Sword, we're gonna spoil Skyward Sword, so if you guys haven't beaten it, what are you doing? It's a 10-year-old game. But the thing is, though, is that Skyward Sword had a time travel mechanic at the very end of the game. But, like, so Girahim goes back in time. Oh no, it's weird, because, like, so Girahim's entire purpose was that he wants to revive his master, which is pretty standard stuff. Fine. And the thing is, at the very end of the game, he decides that he's just going to go back in time to resurrect his master in the past. But the thing is, though, is that if his master wasn't sealed away in the first place, then Girahim wouldn't have been sent, or wouldn't have ended up in a position where he's in the present, where he is working to bring back Demise 500 years later, or whatever the time skip was. Again, it's a paradox loop, but again, the point isn't the fact that there is a time travel that makes sense, in the strictest sense, but it is just that this is a story about a hero that traveled through time to stop the bad guys. That's what The Legend of Zelda is about. Especially, like, you know, Girahim once have basically been in a position to go back in time to resurrect his master, because his master was already sent back. So if Girahim succeeded, then logically the time travel wouldn't have made sense, because then Demise wouldn't have been sealed away, not giving a reason for Girahim to go back in time in the first place to change those events. It's a paradox loop, essentially. Anyways, let's continue. Yeah, so that's, again, like, it's not a big deal. People shouldn't make it such a big deal. It's always been about the heroism and courage that comes with going through time in order to make things right with the world. We're going to have to go back for this. That was pure happenstance, so everyone probably knows by now, but Cassandra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was my favorite blade from that game. Both, like, design-wise, too, but I think I've always had an affinity for masks as a kid, so yeah, I guess I wouldn't call it completely coincidental. Oh, look at that! Frame-perfect dodges. Can you believe it? Frame-perfect dog dodges. Oh, how embarrassing. Okay, I don't think there's really nothing else for us to do, right? We have the spot and everything. I think that's it. That's all we need to do. Sweet. Oh yeah, we'll talk about Cassandra later, but as a kid, I didn't realize that it was possible to fast forward time in this game, so I waited a very long time. I waited a very long time instead of going to this dude. Oh yeah, you have to make up your own Scarecrow song. I think for me, I'd use the Requiem of Spirit. I had to use the Requiem of Spirit in order to remember it, but I can't remember it now. But yes, Majora's Mask actually was the first game that got me into the whole collection of masks. Particularly fox masks. Those are always my favorite. And yeah, like a big part of that too was like using that, like seeing in video games or the characters that use it in combat, or like they put on a mask and they still are able to fight properly despite the fact that there's this big thing on their face. I really enjoyed stuff like that. And then in Hyrule Warriors 1, they had the Young Link DLC, which was my favorite thing. And the fact that he wore a Keaton mask the same way that you would a fox mask, I thought that was great. So seeing another character with... Actually, it's both. It's not just a fox mask, it's also a Jackal's mask, which I like. There's a lot that I could say, but the thing about Cassandra's design is that it's the kind of thing where if you look much closer, you realize that things aren't what they appear to be. And that's very typical of the character herself, which is interesting. So, the thing about the fox mask is a typical Kitsune mask, right? But then if you look closer at the ear shape, most kitsune masks actually have rounder ears, whereas this one's like sharp like horns. And the thing is, though, is that that particular design is very common with jackal designs, and jackals are typically used to represent Anubis, who is the Egyptian god of the dead. And this isn't an Egyptian thing, but it's kind of like when people discovered like Egyptian tombs, that oh, like you're cursed by the mummies if you steal from the tombs. If you steal from Anubis, you're cursed. And curses are a thing that is a very rampant thing with Cassandra's theme. That, and also the fact that there are those like sarcophagus bolts that are stuck into her. And that's also very reminiscent of how there are like voodoo dolls that have the needles stuck into them. Stuff like that is great. She's a great character. I could go on all day. I was thinking of making like a 5-hour-long video about how much I love the character and like all the different themes that are about her. Because she also has the mummy theme going on. She has the jackal theme going on. The fox theme going on. The whole kitsune thing as well. The dichotomy of how the nature of the fox spirits is they are just as likely to help as they are to harm, and that's kind of what Cassandra is. She's the character that wants to make the world a better place, share her luck with everybody, but then there is that darker element to her that wants to only bring ruin and destruction to the world. Anyways, we'll talk about Young Link from Hyrule Warriors. Well, okay, so the thing is, again, this is a game from my childhood, and the Young Link character is... it's the equivalent of Peter Parker to some people, I guess. Little kid that finds himself out of his depth. He's my Spider-Man, essentially. Is that he is this kid that is kind of just out of his depth. But at the same time, there is the additional angle where this is the same guy that defeated Ganon. He became an adult before... like, he became an adult before it was his time. So, developmentally, he's still a kid. But then now this is kind of like the reverse of Ocarina of Time, where in Ocarina of Time he is a little boy inhabiting the body of an older man. In this case, now it is that experienced man that is now inhabiting the body of this little boy. And that's kind of like, it's that kind of layer of like, little guy is going to overcome big, large-scale thing. In this case, it is little kid facing on the moon. And we're going to see a shot in the upcoming cutscene where he confronts the Skull Kid, where it just, like, the camera pans over to young Link's face, or Deku Link's face, and it's just, like, such a helpless look. But this is, like, the first step in showing that growth of heroism, that he's going to overcome it in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, the young Link, him being the Fierce Deity Link as well, the Fierce Deity Link is being my favorite design for the character. Like, the young Link in this game and the Fierce Deity Link, they're both my favorite design for the incarnations of Link across the series, in my mind. I've always been partial towards the young Link in this game, because, again, like, he looks, for all intents and purposes, the same character as the Ocarina of Time young Link, but he has so much more experience now. He has gone through so much as a result of Ocarina of Time, and then we see all of that experience be packed into this character here. And, like, even at the beginning of the game, you see him doing cartwheel flips in the air. Like, he's become a much more experienced combatant as a result. I remember the first time I played this game, I didn't realize that I needed to get the Moonlight tier, so I waited such a long time, went to the Deku Scrub, only to find out that he wouldn't give me the thing. The need to use up the flower. Oh, it was awful. I had to do that. I think that took me like an hour because I was just waiting. I think it was like 2 hours actually. I think this game was like 2 hours? No, I think it's less than 2 hours. If you don't slow down the time. Like, those inconveniences of, you know, not being able to access the tower and freaking out because you realize you made a mistake, those went a long way into making me the person I am today. It's so funny because, like, The Legend of Zelda, I've always seen it as like the video game equivalent of a children's fairy tale. And I don't mean the garbage Disney stuff, I mean like the disturbing German stuff, the hardcore German Strudelpeter stuff. And it's like, The Legend of Zelda is the children's fairy tale that you're in a position where you're constantly afraid or uncomfortable or tense as a result of what's happening in the game. But, again, The Legend of Zelda, you're always trying to overcome that. It's like what I mentioned earlier, like this, look at that shot. It's just so morose. Apparently that hit. So that's the thing, though, like, those moments that make you feel scared or uncomfortable, I think more kids should get into stuff like that, to be honest, to be made to feel that way, because you won't get a nightmare from something where you know it's going to be a happy ending, and that's kind of what this is that no matter how bad it gets, the good guy will always win, the hero will always win. But, like, they had to do it right, or else there will be consequences, and those consequences are things that you're afraid of. And in this case, it's the moon falling to the planet and destroying everything. But that's how I've always felt about The Legend of Zelda, though, is that it is the video game equivalent of a children's fairy tale. This reminds me of US. I'm using the C stick. I don't know the button equivalents. I keep forgetting. And to be honest, it probably doesn't matter because these are getting sticky now. Ugh. Ugh. You remembered. Oh yeah. Memories of Princess Zelda. I have nothing but good memories of her. Princess Zelda is the character who was perfect and without flaws, because she is perfectly without flaws. She is perfectly flawless. And flawlessly perfect. Alright. Why did they give me Deku Nuts? Time for some jazz. Look at him jam out to the boss music, too. Look at him. I remember friends of mine pointed out, why did they just go back in time before he got met up with Skull Kid? And then fought against the Skull Kid to stop him from stealing the Ocarina in the first place? And I was just like, well, then you have no video game. And I'm pretty sure there is, like, an explanation that, like, Termina is, like, a pocket dimension or whatever. That it's a secret universe where... It's like a secret universe where the laws of time don't apply the same way. So, like, you know, some hand wave like that. Look, we need to have a video game. We need to have a story. I remember the... Oh, speaking of timeline... Someone pointed out that the child timeline begins with... Like, the branching point of the child timeline, which is this game, it begins with Link leaving Zelda at the end of Ocarina of Time. Like, you know, in the forward way. Like, after the events of Ocarina of Time, he goes back, becomes a kid, and then decides, you know what, I'm not going to be the hero of time, I'm going to go off and do my own thing. And that is emblematic of how the rest of the games in the child timeline involve Link not really associating with Zelda all that much, because after this is going to be Twilight Princess, and Link and Zelda don't really interact at all in Twilight Princess. It's an interesting idea that someone pointed out. Oh, I think I can use the buttons. Wait, something happens if you get it wrong. Never mind. But yeah, it's been pointed out, though, that the whole child timeline tends to revolve around games where Link exists, and Zelda does not factor into the story to the same extent that she does in the other timelines. Because in the adult timeline, that's leading up to Wind Waker, and Tetra is a very large part of that game. There we go. So I love the design of Link's sword when it first starts off. It's so, like... It's so much more refined in comparison to the Kokiri sword from Ocarina of Time. It's just it's like a little letter opener. And now this is like a sword that is about measured to be his height. Then Hyrule Warriors decide to make it as big as he is, so he's just swinging around like a claymore. That game's freaking awesome. You know, it'd be really funny if the 35th anniversary is just a port of the Oracle games. I feel like that's gonna piss off so many people, but I'm gonna be like, yay! Look at the cinematography of this beautiful game. I remember there was a fan theory that this mask was used by the progenitors of the Twilight. Someone pointed out that, like this really old fan theory. I don't even know how true it is, because it's the typical fan theory where it could be anything. We need to connect the games, because that's a thing that always needs to happen. Which is fine, but, like, again, it's missing the point. You're missing the forest for the trees, essentially. But yeah, supposedly the tribes that used this mask for their rituals was the progenitors of the Twilight, who were also eventually sealed away too, or something. I remember also the Majora's Mask manga by Akira Himekawa was, like, they had their own thing, their own non-canon explanation for why the mask exists. And it's like there's this bizarre beast of a creature that, like, there's this traveler, this wandering minstrel that looks just like the Fierce Deity. He meets this beast that had destroyed so many civilizations, and essentially he made it dance to the point he died using his music, and then so he just passed on, and then the armor of that beast was forged into a mask. It was a very interesting take. I liked it a lot. The manga also was like, it was so strange to me too, because like that particular manga, it had to condense so many stuff, but they did leave in the the cafe in Anju. Oh, if you've never watched this game, I have a treat for you. Yeah, that was kind of the implication of that Midna's helmet, which in and of itself is a combination of the fused shadows, or one of the fused shadows, resembles Majora's Mask. I was like, oh, that's fine. Okay, we need to unlock the code first. first line of business. So, okay, here's the thing I like about Majora's Mask. And in many ways, this carried over to Breath of the Wild, is that when you begin a playthrough, you can immediately start mapping out all the different things that you can do before when it comes to all the optional stuff. You could, and things though, those things that you do will benefit your playthrough moving forward. In Breath of the Wild, it had this whole thing where if you knew where to go, then you can find it. If you knew where to go, then you can find it. Oh, hang on a second. Ooh. And the thing is, though, is that, like, when it comes to your progression through the game, having the specific items or masks before is going to make your life infinitely easier as a result. And that's kind of the thing with, like, Breath of the Wild. And I'm not saying that's a Breath of the Wild exclusive thing, but, like, in certain games, having that foreknowledge will go a long way towards making that game more or less... No, 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 no! Oh, really? Okay, well... I swear, I knew how to do this. Oh, I guess the only way I can do it was with range attacks. That's weird! Okay, I remember now. Oh, this is everyone's favorite. It's beautiful. I think more kids should be subjected to content like that, to be honest. It's just like... I remember, like, people complained about, like, the dead hand from Ocarina of Time, and they were like, whoa, no, how awful. Then again, I can't say that everyone's gonna be like me, where, like, you know, because one of the first games I ever played was a Resident Evil game. So, like, you know, maybe I am an outlier in the sense that, but I don't know, I don't consider myself much of a horror guy, though. I recently started playing a horror game called Sense, a cyberpunk ghost story, which is, I'm enjoying the heck out of that game. It reminds me a little bit of this game in some ways. In that, like, it's unsettling and tense. The notebook. Okay, first thing to think about. The Bremen mask. Floor Masters I didn't like, not because of their design, but because of the fact that they could send you back to the beginning of the dungeon. Like, why? Why would you do such a thing? But then I like this game, so I can't really talk. Okay, what to do? First order of business to get the Bremen mask. After I get the Bremen mask, then I can get the Blast mask. And then after the Blast mask, I can get the Bunny Hood, and then we can do the rest of the game. Yeah, well, like, Floor Masters are weird. I don't like them. I'd say that they're still the most annoying enemy in the game, or series. Honestly, if they did a re-release of this game, for the 35th anniversary, I'd still play it. Although, I feel like they'd end up forming it after the 3D remake instead of the original. Which, I get, like, there are some quality of life changes, but there's nothing wrong with quality of life changes. In fact, I think that it's easier to recommend it with those quality of life changes, but there's some stuff about this game that is just so gross and dated that's what I find so endearing about it. I have never owned the Majora's Mask Player's Guide. I did borrow the Wind Waker Player's Guide, back in the day. I did own the... Well, I didn't own it, but I borrowed it. But for Majora's Mask, no. I remember reading a lot of the official player's guides back in the day. Like, whenever Nintendo had, like, a big release game, they would also release a player's guide. Particularly in the GameCube era, that's when they were really common, but in the N64 era, it was definitely a thing, too. I remember I used to read GamePro magazine, and in that... There's no reason for us to go to the ferry right now, right? Oh no, there is! There is reason! Oh, right, yes, the Wall Masters are the ones that take you to the beginning, not the Floor Masters. The Floor Masters, they just strangle you, they choke you a bit. That's not necessarily better, by the way. Yeah, well, they didn't really... I used to like those so much. They were fun to read through. They were fun to read through because they were actually written by people that, you know, they weren't like amateur walkthroughs that you find online these days. Granted, it's not to say that every walkthrough is like that. Come on, come on. I forgot that this game, that I needed to be in human form in order to get the Great Fairies mask. There was another mask that I was going to get. It's okay. There's this. So that is a grand total of 4 masks. 4 extra masks out of the 24 total. Oh, sorry, 5 masks that we have to get out of the 24 total. Everything could play in the Z. Oh, I want to. I really want to play the CDI Zelda games. I'm very curious about them. Like, I know it's not going to be a good time, but, like, it'll be an interesting time for me, where I'm just like, I want to at least say that I've played them. I want to at least say that I have played the CDI Zelda games. It's not necessary by any stretch of the imagination, but I want to try it. It might, and yeah, it's going to be one of those things where definitely go for emulation, because CDIs are really expensive, and supposedly very buggy. Okay, what time does the blast mask happen? And should I revert the... Okay, here we go. The worst character from Hyrule Warriors. But yeah, I remember back in the day, though, they had those official walkthroughs for GameCube and N64 games. I remember my cousin had one for Metroid Prime. They had one for Metroid Prime, and I was like, oh, that's neat. I remember playing, like, the first, like, 10 minutes of that game using the walkthrough. Because I was visiting, but I didn't want to save. Because it's not polite to save on people's memory cards if it's not your house. They got remastered on the PC. Yes, the CDI Zeldas do have good music, in fact. I hope I don't screw this up. This guy shows up at... Oh, can I double check, actually? Hopefully... Okay, let's quickly double check, because I don't know if he appears at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. And I want to slow down time before that happens, because I think that's going to affect his running speed. Excuse me while I cheat here. Because I know that... I'm pretty sure that's the thing with Sakon's hideout as well, is that Sakon... the conveyor belt moves slowly if you play the song in inverted time. Okay. This brings back memories. So, for those guys that don't know, back in the day... Hang on. Does it ever say what time it is? Why does it never say what time? Okay, North Clocktown. From 12. Okay, 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is when it happens. Gotcha. Can you kill the guy who steals the bomb bag? I wish. That would make my life so much easier. But yes, from what I understand though, is that, like, yeah, you play this song for a time, it's going to make his run speed slower. I think. Or it's a thing that I convinced myself as a kid. But anyways, for those guys that don't know, back in 2017 I streamed this game, but there was some synchronization issues because the capture card that I used at that time was converting component cables on the Wii to the capture card, which is going to the computer. I believe it was actually my... actually, do you know what? It might have actually been on my laptop, but I think that was before I got a new computer. And yeah, so I was streaming Majora's Mask on that. It was a very, very poor setup because it was just when we started out on this channel. And then here we are again, back where it all started, playing some Majora's Mask. And this is going to make the synchronization a lot easier. Because that was a recurring problem, the synchronization for the audio, as well as just constant disconnects because the laptop couldn't handle, like, a 480p signal being broadcast online. You can explode if you shoot him with an arrow. I've never done that. I should try that sometime. We get it almost every night. When that moon is big and bright, it's a supernatural delight. And everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Dun, 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 dun. And everybody here is out of sight. You can't dance and they don't fight. When they keep things loose, they keep things tight. 'Cause everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Oh! Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. And everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Alright. Alright, hot pants. Do your thing. About the game that might be controversial or not. Theories. Rolling around at the speed of sound. Oh, I love this game so much. That was awesome. That was amazing. That's going into the highlight pile. Are you kidding me? Okay, that's okay. We're done. Picasso Joaquin, hello. Oh, we also need to unlock the owl statues, just because. That was amazing. That was absolutely fantastic. He was literally just right there. Here we go. I'm gonna have to blow him up next time. Next time I try this out. I'll do it off camera. I didn't... Supposedly it's possible. I haven't tried it, though. Although, wouldn't that end up endangering the goods as well? Okay. Next thing on our list is to get the bunny hood. And after that, I think there's nothing really else that needs to be done. Like, I'm doing this purely by memory, outside of having to check for specific times. Everything else is like... Because I don't know where all the heart pieces are. And that's one of the goals that I want to do for this playthrough as well, is that I want to get all the heart pieces. Because I've never done that, I don't think. I think it's safe to say that I haven't done that. I rarely go for all the heart pieces in Zelda games, but I think I'll make an exception just for this one. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's also... that's a possibility, actually. Possibility is... I need to... Oh, do you know what? I need to look up later where to get all the empty bottles. I'll have to find some way to get empty bottles. That's going to make the Great Bay segments a lot easier for us, too. Okay, because this is going to be the point of no concern for us. Is there anything I'm forgetting? I think that's good. I don't really want to worry about maps for now. I have better things to spend my rupees on, I think. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to rush to the third day. The morning of the third day, and then that should... I think that's it, though. And then, yeah, after this, and then we can just do the woodfall stuff. Getting the bomb mask and the bunny hood this early on in the game is always going to be nice. I could probably use it as a secondary weapon, the bomb mask. The blast mask. And the bunny hood is just a good, like, quality of life tool. If you're not using any of the other masks, the bunny hood is the best. If you're not using, like, the... what do they call it? The stone mask. Stone mask and bunny hood are the most important enemies, important masks in this game. I think this is faster. I feel like this is faster. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I saw a speedrunner do this once. Or all of them. Oh, Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land. I'd love to play it on stream, but the thing is, though, I can't stream 3DS. I can't stream a 3DS, and I'm not sure if I want to pony up that much cash in order to do a stream. Because the thing is, I also got A Link Between Worlds, which I have not played yet, and I'm looking forward to playing that in the coming weeks on my own time. There's a lot of games I got planned for this week. Like, I'm already starting Sense of Cyberpunk Ghost Story. After that, I'm probably gonna start Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of the Elusive Age. And then after that, it's going to be Drakengard 3. Lots of games. Wait, is this correct? Oh yeah, that's where all the cuckoos are. Yes, it is possible to get to Romany Ranch, but you can only get to Romany Ranch on the beginning of the final day. And this is the guy from Ocarina of Time that gives you the Kohiro. Mark Min, hello! I'm so excited. I'm playing Majora's Mask, you guys! This is like the game to me. Like, this is the game that it's just like... It's the game that made me like other games, I think. It's like every game that I play is thinking, hey, yeah, this kind of reminds me of that moment in Majora's Mask where, like, you know, Like playing... What's a game that comes to mind? Playing Persona 5 reminds me of in Majora's Mask when you have a timer that's counting down and then you gotta manage your time and side quests properly in order to get the best possible benefit. Or it's like in Three Houses when you need to manage all your time and skills and assessments differently in order to get the best possible effect out of your day because your professor level is so low. It's just like Majora's Mask. It's kind of like in Bloodborne when you fight against enemies and you need to be super aggressive, constantly on the ball with proper spacing. It's just like Majora's Mask. The game. It's like in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 when you have to collect a bunch of masks and you only want to use 2 or 3. It's just like Majora's Mask. It's just like Majora's Mask, where the part just gets me really hot under the collar. I cannot wait, though. I'm gonna be playing A Link Between Worlds because it takes a lot of nostalgic nods off of A Link to the Past, which is a game that I enjoyed, but it's nice to see that world again in a different light outside of the A Link to the Past. It really makes me feel like Batman, because the thing about Link is that he has all the different tools available to him. Okay. Here's what's gonna happen. We have to pause. Pause, I'll be right back. You guys can enjoy this moody music. Be right back. And we're back. Yeah, honestly, if the moon oh, do you know what? Did you guys hear the story about that streamer that fell asleep on stream playing Majora's Mask? This was back in 2017, I think. He literally fell asleep on stream in Majora's Mask. So you just see, like, the world being destroyed while he's asleep in his chair. That was an actual thing that happened. Okay, here's the deal. Wait a minute. I feel like I could have also gotten the Kamaro's mask. I just it's fine, it's fine. I think I could have also gotten the Kamaro's mask, because... No, wait, no, but I need the Lens of Truth, don't I? I think you need the Lens of Truth for that. Okay. Yeah, it was fantastic. The guy literally fell asleep during the stream, because I think he's been streaming for a very long time. I heard that, or he just has a really terrible sleep schedule, in which case that's on him. It was really nice. Okay. Here we go, time for some cutscene. The thing is, though, is that when it comes to... Yeah, see, that's the thing, though, is that, like... I don't, like, I get, you know, doing, like, 7-hour streams from time to time, but I wouldn't want to make that, because I know I did a 7-hour stream for Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, and I know I did a, I know I did a 7-hour stream for Skyward Sword. No, it was 8 hours for Hyrule Warriors, and it was 7 hours for Skyward Sword. But, like, I wouldn't want to make that a regular thing, though. Like, I get that if you're the kind of person that, like, you know, your career hinges upon it, but not for me. These are some great... See, like, this is some great storytelling right here. You don't need a ton of voice acting and musical cues and stingers in order to make us feel an emotion. I'm feeling an emotion right now because I think part of the reason why Majora's Mask is so special, particularly for Skull Kid, because Skull Kid, he doesn't really factor that much into the story, but what he represents and what he goes through is something that's very easy for people to relate to. I guess we're going to spoil the game for people that haven't played this game already, but a big motivator for why Skull Kid does the things that he did is that his friends abandoned him, or he had abandonment issues because he perceived that his friends no longer wanted to be with him. So he developed insecurities, and he tends to push people away, but then he made 2 more friends, and the thing that he ended up finding with the Majora's Mask is that it appealed to his darkest desire of being self-reliant. And that's something that a lot of people can go through too, is that they don't need other people. They can just rely on themselves, only to find out that Majora's Mask ended up taking advantage of that insecurity. And the whole thing too is that, you know, if anyone's ever been in a relationship with their friends where like they had to go their separate ways and you feel like they're in the wrong, maybe the other person feels like that you're in the wrong too. So it's one of those interesting things where it's just like there's that humanity to it that I don't know how intentional it is, but I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, because I think the longest stream I don't know, like, doing a long stream, it just seems annoying to me. It's okay if people want to, but man, for me, I'm just like, can I just go straight to the witch's house? Oh no! Oh, but you don't lose health though. Okay, good. Okay, so the thing is, the key to mastering the platforming in this game, because this is going to happen a lot, always measure it with your first-person view for precision. There was no harm in doing this, and it's better that you just take the extra time to aim it properly than it is to not aim it and then mess it up and then set yourself back some more time. Here we go. It wasn't like the 100% for Breath of the Wild like 24 hours or something. I guess we'll talk to Kotake first. I think that's the thing that motivates the next event. Better safe than sorry. Oh, right. Fragrant mushrooms. I guess the end of today's stream will be us getting the scent mask, since that's the last thing that we could get in this section of this area of the game. do I want to get all of it? Because one thing I was also considering for the stream, instead of playing through the whole game, I'll just go to the old file and focus on getting all of the heart containers. Follow me. I completely forgot the direction. Okay. Alright, here's Kome. No, I will leave you to die here, old lady. Yeah, there's a bunch of like weird speed runs. I feel like speedrunning also just stems from, more than anything, it stems from I don't want to play new games kind of angle. Let's just play the same game, but play it faster. Like, you know, there are games that are so good that you want to play them over and over again. Like, I'm playing one right now. But after a while, it's just like, if you could speedrun it, I feel like you're at a point where maybe just play a different game. You know, just expand your horizons, try something new. That was kind of a recurring theme for me last year, actually, for 2020. I played 40 games last year. Sorry, I have played and beaten 40 games last year. And those particular games were very, like, a good handful of the games are like either series that I've never played before, or game types or genres that I've never played. I think I could beat them by bombing them, but that's such a waste of time. What are these things called again? They're called, like, gyro turtles? Euro turtles? Yeah, a bunch of different ways to fight those, but I think bombing works, and I think just being a Deku Scrub works. Okay, here we go. Hey, Mr. Vaca, how you doing? Okay, here we are. Oh yeah, I'm wearing that. The low percent speed run? I feel like just speedrunning Twilight Princess in general shouldn't take any longer than like 5 hours. Because I remember my third playthrough of Twilight Princess took me just under 16 hours. Granted, I was doing other stuff too, but like, I think just generally speaking, it took me about 16 hours. Partially taking my time and partially, like, just hurrying up. And I'm pretty sure, like, I'm pretty sure, like a one where I was just, like, not really stopping for anything, I think that took me about 8 hours, and I think that was, like, my 10th playthrough of the game. Mr. Vaca, thank you very much for the almost dollar. Assuming that is USD, that is about 50 bucks Canadian, so thank you very much. But yeah, I'm thinking though, like, because that Twilight Princess actually doesn't take that long if you know where to go and you skip all the cutscenes. Because I remember I did stop for a lot of cutscenes. I loved a lot of the cutscenes of that game. But yeah, it took me. It definitely took less than 9 hours. Whereas I feel like for this game, it's gonna definitely take me at least 12 to 15 hours, maybe. Counting all the times of getting the masks, maybe. Then again, I don't know, like, No More Heroes took me about 8 hours, but there were like a lot of the forced grinding elements to it too. Xenosaga speedruns? Oh, I mean, how unfortunate. No, honestly, I feel like it'll do the opposite for NL. I think it's going to give him Stockholm Syndrome. He already does like the games, but I think his appreciation will be even greater. It's kind of like how this game's graphic style and platforming segments and overall controls and constantly pausing the game to equip items has given me Stockholm Syndrome. Legend of Zelda, Stockholm Syndrome. Oh boy, look at these trees. And look, I'm in the Rainforest Cafe right now. They got the cardboard cutouts for the trees. It cost me $500, but you can only get them at one store. Hang on, check out this fanservice upskirt that we're getting right now. Bro, he's like 11 years old. Oh yeah, well, in my mind, he's 17, which isn't that much better. Oh man, we're saying so many incriminating things today, and I do not care. Imagine, I like to imagine the zombie spirit of my grandmother walking in on me streaming and saying, "Why are you looking at this little boy's upskirts?" Okay, this is tricky because... Okay, this is going to be weird because what's going to happen is... I think if you play this game on the second day, the segments, I think the plant will grow automatically. I could be wrong. I remember when they played some Cadence of Hyrule, I was so excited. Oh yeah, so Jojo, you're probably wondering about the archive thing. What I'm planning on doing is, the archive will still exist. I might as well say hello to people watching the archive right now, but what I'm planning on doing is I'm gonna do a collection of highlights when the series is done, and just put those all together in one video. But I guess I might as well say hello to me, who's currently editing this video. I hope you were doing well. I hope you were still alive in the next 4 weeks. And that thing that you wanted to do, but couldn't, well, I mean, you only have yourself to blame, my friend, so good luck. Also, hello to you guys that are watching in the archives right now, but to the guy that is editing this video right now, just do what you can. Don't give up, but don't tell me to tell you what to do. Don't let me tell you what to do. Do whatever you want. Okay. Okay, so, from what I remember, doing this on day 2 will cause the plant to grow automatically. Because it's raining. Okay. So, well, okay, perfect. To the secret room from the outer garden entrance, but the entrance in tall place, no one can reach it. Need bean from the bean cellar. Yes, I understand your meaning. I don't remember how to do this part as well as I do. I remember there was a platforming segment that I sucked horribly at. Oh, hello! Rose-colored rupee. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how true it is, because I might be remembering this game wrong, but I'm fairly certain that playing this section of the game on day 2 will cause the plant to bud instantly without needing to water it, but I'll get the water just in case. Unless I screw it up. I feel like I screwed it up in the initial playthrough. Whoop. This game is fantastic. The Swamp Tourist Center, how come they put this here when no one's allowed here? But the Swamp Tourist Center is all a bunch of outsiders. I remember wanting to do a stupid, like a parody of the Cinema Sins, where I just nitpick all the things that I find exceptional, that I take exception to in video games, but like they're not even like meaningful, they're just there. And then put an obnoxious ding noise whenever I point out how bad thing is. Something really, really stupid, like, oh wow, this looks like it was made on a toaster. Ding! Or the beginning of Xenoblade Chronicles. Oh, British accents, how original. Ding! British accents? That's original. Okay, alrighty. I think I can just go back to the entrance now. I can just walk into a guard now. Okay, so now comes the obnoxious platforming part that I love. This is the, again, here's where the Stockholm Syndrome really starts to shine. And like the increments of like the movements as well, they're not as precise as you'd like them to be. So sometimes you might end up overshooting. That's why the aiming in this game is so funny. Oh man, I remember in high school we had to do like a project where we had to take a decade in between the like every group in the group project had to choose a different era. Hey Akio, thanks for joining. Everyone had to choose a different era of the 1900s and then do a project about it, about like the zeitgeist of those areas, right? So the thing is though, is that someone did the 1990s, and that involves Pokemon cards and Nintendo 64. So they brought in Nintendo 64 to the game. They brought an N64 to the class, and we were able to try out one of the mini games from Majora's Mask, which was the shooting gallery in Clocktown. And the funny thing about the shooting gallery in Clocktown is that I've played it so many times. So while everyone else was struggling, I ended up beating the guy's high score on his save file. I'm nothing if not a show-off. I'm just like, nice! Got you an upgrade, my friend! Oh man, high school was fun. Oh, hang on, I would say goodbye to people, but then action is happening. Exciting, exciting action. That should have landed. Okay, that's fine. Oh boy. That's a Kings of Hyrule reference. Oh man, the catwalk scares me. Ugh. I don't like tight spaces. It's like it's so difficult because like you'll never know, you might end up veering out of control. Seems to be doing okay though. This is pretty swimmingly. remember for the longest time, my only association with the British accents was from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And there was that teacher that really, oh man, it was glorious. There's the teacher of Charlie's class, and it was like it felt like a really dry British comedy bit. Oh no! Wait. Okay, we're okay. There's like several rules of physics that just simply do not apply in this game unless they absolutely have to, and most of that comes from this section of the game. Okay, we're good. Oh, we got it. That was first try. Look at us. Maybe we can be competent. And the only way that we can be competent is making fun of British people for sounding the way they do. Oh, that's okay, crackhead Canadian. You go ahead, tell yourself whatever. Keep telling yourself that, Mr. Crackhead Canadian. Plot, 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 plot. Yeah. I remember making this my Scarecrow song. No. I made the, what's it called? Oh, Bossa Nova. No, it was the Bossa Nova that I made my Scarecrow song in Ocarina of Time. Whereas my Scarecrow song in this game was the Spirit's Requiem. It feels good to play on a GameCube again. I have played 2 GameCube games this year, both wonderful, both of the Capcom 5 actually. Beautiful Joe and Killer 7. And Killer 7 has made it into my Hall of Fame of one of my new favorite games of all time. Like, it goes on the list with Majora's Mask and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And Bloodborne. Oh, look how violent this game is. Okay, well, yeah, it's only the half of the first day. We could do it. We could. Oh, but what's better for our purposes, though? Would it be better for us to just reset the time once we reach the beginning of Woodfall? What do you guys think? Should we just continue on and just do Woodfall Temple as it is, or should we, as soon as we open up Woodfall Temple, we go back in time? Answer in the comments below. Oh, is this be a twofer? Yeah! Oh, I was so excited. That was gonna be it. Yeah, should we just do it as normal, or do we... I'm pretty sure we could pull it off. Perish inside the temple. Yo, which is my command? Do Woodfall now, and then rescue the monkey in the cutscene. Okay, yeah. We'll make it as narrative as possible. There was no up button. Might as well. I mean, like, here's the thing. I don't remember much of Woodfall Temple outside of the time I had to go back to collect the stray fairies. I think we were talking about, I remember I was in a voice chat, we were talking about like Fire Emblem or something. Something strange like that, I don't know, we were talking about some unrelated game. But Woodfall is a pretty easy dungeon, so it should be okay. The thing I like about Majora's Mask dungeons is that each of the dungeons have a good amount of content in them. It's big enough so that it doesn't feel like they had to, you know, kind of rush for time, but it's small enough that it doesn't feel like it's an overwhelming task ahead of us either to get it all done within the time limit. It was a good balance. And like they're all fairly intuitive as well, so there's that. Wait, I need to know if this is possible. Okay. Yeah. Aww. I was hoping that would be a break, but no. Be gone. Okay, that could be a cause for concern. Hip loop. Make sure we got this right. Oh, no. Okay, that was bizarre, but hey, we made it. Whatever gets us to the finish line, doesn't matter. I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe I'll just get back, but I forgot I was still wearing the mask. Sorry. I told him sorry, but in fact I was not. In fact, I was not sorry. I, in fact, was not sorry. That was dangerous. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. In front of every dungeon opening, there is a fairy. So we can make use of that. Okay. Nope. Gotcha. So the thing is, whenever you break a thing that has a fairy in it, if you immediately press the bottle button, you'll catch it automatically. It'll like be psychic, it'll be telekinetic. Pro tip. I think we're good to go. The dancing mask is... Don't you need the Lens of Truth to get the Kamaro's mask, though? I feel like you need to get that. I could be wrong, I might be remembering it wrong, but I feel like I needed the Lens of Truth in order to get the Kamaro's mask. Okay... yeah, stun bombs, why not? Because I think that's the only, like, first cycle map. I think that might be the only, like, first cycle mask that I have not gotten. I might as well put on the bunny hood right now. Oh yeah, and also these guys are free heals, yeah? Okay, loadouts. Ooh, I wonder if we could actually get all of them. Oh, hello. Alright. We got ourselves a show. I love the dungeon music in this game as well. Like, they're all unique. That's what I like about them. Did I go the wrong way? See, like, you see those creepy eyes down there? It's great! goodness, the flow of doing dungeons in Majora's Mask, or in Zelda games in general. I remember having time of my life playing Link's Awakening, the remake. I've never played that game, or sorry, I've never finished that game on the Game Boy Color, but then I played this one, and I was like, you know, you're discovering dungeons all over again. It's a wonderful feeling. Okay. I feel like wearing the bunny hood on a platforming segment's a bad idea. Oh well. We're gonna do it though. Aha. Oh my goodness, I love these dungeons so much. Absolute fanboy mentality. It doesn't matter how garbage the things are, I love them all. Like, the dungeons tend to be the best part of most of these games, really. I remember for me, that was me with Twilight Princess. I didn't really like the bosses in that game that much, but the dungeons themselves, though, were very well thought out. I'd say they're some of the best dungeons in the series, to be honest. Twilight Princess, I mean. I feel like one of these is housing a fairy. Huh, I was right. I remember, because yeah, the last time I played this, or I was in this section of the game, I was in a Discord chat with a couple of the guys. Do I need to shoot with the bubble? Or the eye switch? Hold on. Okay. Maybe we don't need the bunny hood yet. What? Oh. I thought that was a thing. Okay, let's put my theory to the test. Time to explode! We're terrible at this game. Oh, look at that hitbox. Look at that. Okay, wait. Ooh, yeah! Alright. James, thank you very much. Listen to the Children of Termina re-organizations by Rosen. I have not, but I will look it up after the stream today. Yeah, Majora's Mask is, it's a special game. Like, a lot of the things about the gameplay of this, too, is that all these little, fun little ways to make the different forms do combat. It's a nice way to help mix things up, because that's the thing about the Zelda games, is that on a very basic level, there's actually not very much special about the combat of Zelda games. Like, they need to do everything they can to distract you from the fact that these are all pretty basic stuff. But the thing about Majora's Mask, which makes it stand out, is that, like, each of the different forms and each of the different masks will yield different results. I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I feel like I aimed it bad. I don't think we need to do this yet. Okay, we don't have a compass. Why? That's a very distracting map. Are you kidding me? Okay. There should be a fairy in here. Yes. Okay. Now, where to go? Well, there was that locked door that we didn't get to, so well, I guess we'll head there. Stone Tower is one of my favorite tracks in this game, to be honest. Well, yeah, okay, there's a fairy that's underneath this, and I don't think I can do it with the bubbles. I think I need the bow and arrow for it. I would love to get all the fairies in this game, though. I'd love to get all the fairies. Maybe we'll do that. Let's just get all the fairies and hope that we find them. We'll use our gamer sense. Because the truth to the matter is, I think I have at some point, but I don't remember how to get all of them, and that's the issue. Because I know I relatively recently did this segment of the game. Cartwheel flips! Oh, I love that. Yeah, eye switches are arrow only, that makes sense. Yeah, I was thinking, like, I feel like there was a Zelda game where, like, you didn't need the arrows. Oh, I can use the bomb mat. That's a great idea, thank you. See, that's the magic of Zelda. You can have this game for, like, how long ago did I have this? For like 10 years. Still be finding out new stuff about it. And still be discovering new things. That was one of the things I liked about Breath of the Wild so much, is that that game's been out for like 3 years, and we're still discovering stuff about it. See if this probably doesn't work, but I want to. Okay, I wasn't sure if that would work or not, but I'm glad. Ooh, boy. Hey, Rock, thanks very much for joining us, man. Okay. This could be a disaster. This could be a disaster. But we've been doing fairly well so far. No, 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 I wasn't ready. Why would you target that? Yes! Success! Hey, pretty baby, come here. Uh-oh. He did exactly what I asked him to. That fills me with dread. Never mind! Alright. What's this? I think the bow... I don't think it's the bow, it's probably a compass. I think the bow comes after the Dinolfos fight? Yes. Okay. Oh, yes, and now here's where Disaster Part 2 happens. Okay. Position yourself properly, and... Oh, it's dizzying. Why? Gotta be careful. Can't believe moths do that much damage. Oh, I love this section of the game so much because it just gets immediately dour and depressing. There's a lot of evil here. Oh, you think? Wins a win! Oh, it's just like Sense, a cyberpunk ghost story. How's that for irony? Oh hey, it's already going to be the end of the first day? Usually I'm like in the previous room when this is happening. This is nice. Having a good time right now. There you are. Okay. I remember thinking of this specific room when doing that shrine in Breath of the Wild where like everything was dark and you need to carry like a bunch of different light sources with you, and I think you would sometimes have to use the bombs to illuminate the way. Reminds me of that a little bit. That's what it made me think of. Okay. I think this is a fairy? Yes. Oh, so dizzying. Alright, night of the first day. Why don't you open the door with your opposable thumbs? Instead of using your face on the button. Okay, is there anything of note down there, actually? Doesn't seem like it. No. Wait, actually... No, because I'm looking at it from that floor, right? Where am I? I feel like there's something of note around here? Wrong. Ouch! You're not. My bubbles are frame 1, baby. This guy should be in Smash Bros. I think Deku Link, not even like the young Link from Majora's Mask, because the one that we got in Smash Bros is a cheap imitation. We need to get young Link as a Deku scrub. I think that would sit very well with the fans, because as we all know, the Legend of Zelda series is very underrepresented, and there aren't nearly enough Links to justify calling it a day. Oh, aren't there like sometimes fairies that are stuck in like pieces of grass too? Okay, moving on. Like, I feel like if there's a hive around here, then that's definitely gonna be housing a fairy. How many do we even get? 8 out of 15. Such a beautiful atmosphere. And fun objectives! This game has it all, man. Granted, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I've played this game a lot, so a lot of the inconveniences don't affect me, but it definitely would affect other people. So anyone that complains that the controls of this game are too annoying, it's valid to a fault. But again, it's one of those things because, like, for me, I had the luxury of practicing this game a lot. Not everyone that plays this game has that, and you need to give some leeway for them, too. It's one of those things where, like, again, like, you're not set. Like, there will be flaws in your abilities. There will be gaps in your abilities, and you have to accept that because you're not complete as a player. You still have room to grow. Everyone has room to grow. Hang on a second. Would we have to just fly there? I'm guessing. Okay. I don't know if this is how I'm supposed to do it, but we'll see. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Although, I think that was another point of frustration that people had with this game, too, is that if you fall into a pit, it takes you to another floor. It doesn't reset you to the checkpoint. It just takes you to another floor. You have to make your way all the way back up again, and that's not everyone's cup of tea. Speaking of going back up again... Yeah, speaking of which, I think that's exactly what's going to happen right now. Okay. Let's see what this is about. Yes! That's 10, right? Yes. Thank you. No shortage of health in this game, though. Alrighty. Okay, so that's all well and good, but we're gonna have to hurry this up. Wait a minute. I see hives. There's gotta be fairies in here. I heard one. Will I hear a second one? That looks really good. Try it again. Nope. Okay, you know what? We'll just hit it from below. How about that? Remember this game had like the 4 megabyte like expansion pack requirements, because that's just how good this game looked at the time. Oh boy. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, so that's 11. We'd only need 4 more. And I think there are like 2 of them in the segments of the game leading up to the boss. I'm pretty sure there's like 2. At least 1. I know that much for sure. Ugh, I'll never get over those cartwheel flips. Because, yeah, we have witnessed that there are some enemies that also drop fairies, so we're gonna have to, like, fight every enemy that we see. Or rather, every enemy that hasn't already respawned. Okay. This was a bad idea. Yes! Okay, that was scary. Oh no. Guiding Bug disaster? Yeah, that was a disaster. Okay. Oh, you know what I should have just done what I did last time, actually. I should have... Do you know what I should have done? I should have gone to the ground, like I did last time. Literally the same thing. Three before. Okay, so then we just need to find 1 that's out here. If it's true what you say that there's 3, then yeah, okay. So the nice thing about the upgrades too is that you get the upgraded spin, and the upgrading spin, first of all, it looks amazing. But second of all, yeah, it's just increased range on your spin attack. The first one is the increased range of the spin attack. The second thing that you get is upgraded magic meter, which I'd love to go for with Snowhead Temple. And after that is the HP damage reduction. Damage reduction, and then the 4th one is the Great Fairy Sword, which isn't really that useful. Alright. From the strike. There we go. Perfect. Wait for it to start moving. It's weird, but we can go for it. Alright. That's the thing though, as long as we can get the upgraded spin, that would be a huge help. Also, I just like the way that it looks. It looks so nice. Just, yeah, it's the fact that you don't need to charge it up to get the upgraded spin. You can just do a regular spin, and it just comes out on its own. It's great. I should have just done this first. Wow. Okay. Yeah, once I get the bow and arrow, I can do this. Alright. No! That was my bad. I was drifting on I was drifting myself forward. But that's okay, we got ourselves a shortcut. Wait, was there anything in here? You'll never know. I always feel like there will be a fairy in one of these pots. So one of the other things I'm planning on doing too, if we have time, I might end up doing the spider house again. But the thing is, I don't want to do that until I have more empty bottles though, because empty bottles are a help in that one. Okay, here we go. Supplies. And yeah, Dinolfos. Oh, okay. All that fanfare. All that fanfare for like the simplest task. Hit guy twice, and we shall award you with the best weapon in the game. It's a real step back from Zelda 1, huh? Like they really make you work for your rewards in that game. Alrighty. And I think that's pretty, like, I think we're more than halfway done with this dungeon then. Okay, so time for the aiming. The aiming's weird in this game because the increments for moving this control stick, it's like, it's so touchy. Oh man, I gotta recalibrate. See what I mean? See those increments? Oh boy, oh boy. There we go. Alright, so there's another shortcut, just in case. I need to make sure... Well, okay, so we got the fairy that was in there, so that's fine. If there's another fairy that I need to know about... We're down to the last 4. Yeah, I might as well just keep putting them on. Do we have to worry about this for now? Yeah, we kind of do. Okay. Tattle, you better be aiming me properly. Nope, you're useless. Alright. I gotta do it myself. In fairness, I'm not that much better. Step back, right? No, not quite. I haven't done this in a very long time. This is weird. Do I have to be like standing right in front of it? There we go. I guess Untitled was more helpful than I thought. Okay, now, this is weird because we're getting closer and closer. Oh, but there is still that mini-boss that we have to fight against, isn't there? So, okay, no, we still have quite a ways to go, I think. What is my goal here? Gotcha. Okay, I see it now. Oh yeah, honestly, like, aiming reticles should have been there for a while. That's the thing, like, the aiming in this game, it's tricky. This is very reminiscent of a puzzle in Ocarina of Time, where, yeah, like, the aiming was a bit of a hassle, because then you got stuff like this going on. We're gonna be here a while, you guys. Actually, wouldn't it make more sense if I was just in front of it? I mean, okay. I adjusted the thing too much. Alright, come on, baby. You got this. There we go. It's weird. It's very weird. I think this will drop arrows for me. What hurts to check? I feel the urge to restock, but nah, we're fine. We still have almost half the max. There's still the gecko that we have to fight, right? We can't go here yet. Alright, okay, we'll go back. One second. So... Alright, we'd have to go up there. Get the arrows back, get our magic meter back. Wait, was there anything down there I have to be concerned about? I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, honestly, the aiming in old Zelda games has been an issue. Twilight Princess added a reticle. Oh, no, wait, no. We've already been here. No, this just takes us to the next floor. Yeah, because I know that Twilight Princess on the Wii version had a reticle, but Twilight Princess on the GameCube did not have that. And the arrows in that game also arced. So it's strange, but basically the general idea was that, like, they had the Hawkeye item to help with the precision stuff. It was very interesting. Like, I think that's the only time we've ever seen, like, a sniper sight in these games. It should pause for us, yeah? Please don't tell me what to do. I'm trying to figure this out on my own, too. I appreciate your help, Christopher, but I'm okay for now. I don't need to be instructed with all the steps, because I'm trying to remember this offhand as well. These dungeons tend to be pretty intuitive, too, so it doesn't really... Okay, he's gonna bring this dude. Oh, no, wait. That's not bad. Oh, we have to shoot him. Why did he stop? Oh, I could have caught him. There we go. So kind of them to give us arrows. They know how much I miss. Okay, now I'll just close the distance, it's fine. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Can I do it? Look! Okay, we're good. Yeah, it's better just to close the distance in scenarios like this, I think. And then hold pause. Okay, yeah, that's... Instead of having to manually aim it, because that's way too much trouble. Alrighty. Oh man, I'm gonna have to come back here for the Zongero's mask as well. Or to get the heart piece from the Zongero's mask. I don't think I've ever done that in my life, I think. I know that's the thing that you have to do to get a heart piece. But yeah, in terms of me trying to figure out dungeons, though, I tend to figure them out just fine on my own. So I appreciate your help, but I'm good. I'm good for trying to figure things out. That's part of the experience. It's part of the fun, too. Okay. I feel like there was a... Wait, hang on. Weren't there hives in there that I could shoot as well? Because, like, that looks like a thing that where you would hide fairies in, because I know that the spider house had a thing where, like, inside... could have been imagining it. Doesn't seem there's anything here. Oh man, I need to get the wallet upgrade too. I'm at 99 rupees. Alright, perfect. Okay, next up. Okay, there's a bunch of them over here, and there's gonna be various ways we can go about getting it. I'm gonna try this. That was almost good. There we go. We're gonna run out of arrows by the time I hit this guy. Clear out all the surprise factors. Is it timed? Oh, that was embarrassing. 13, down to the last two. Oh, it is timed. I'm used to hearing the ticking sounds whenever there are times crystals switch. 14. Oh, thank you. Arrows. Alright. I don't think I can glide all the way back, can I? No! Go back! Okay. Can I make it here? Yes! Takes the fellow fairies of the same color. Okay, now the tricky parts, because I don't quite remember how to do this. Can't believe they crammed 4 fairies into one room. If only more dungeons can do that. I guess it's to make up for the fact that the layout of this particular dungeon is fairly small. Okay, how do I do this? I don't know if jumping's advised, but we're going to. I should be able to hit it from here. Nope. Okay. Okay, no, we have to go back. Don't need to wear the fairy's mask anymore. We can stick to the bunny hood. And... No! I thought he would jump! Oh yeah, and something that was... No, I think that was a Ocarina of Time only thing where you get to mash the B button to swim faster. I think? Alright, here we go. It needs to be from a specific angle at the sides, I think, and then we can shoot the arrow, then hurry up with the rest of the platforming puzzle. I think this highest point would be the best vantage point for us. I think. Might be a long shot. Okay, let's give it a whirl. I think what I need to do is I need to jump to the one on the left. It's such a weird spot. No! Disaster. Okay. Whoa! Wow. He actually decided to be kind this time. Can you make it? He can't. Oh! Okay, yeah, okay, then I have to go to that part then. I need to do it from a lower vantage point. Okay, right on cue. Here we go. It's not that much of a distance, though. We could just do it from there, I think. Okay, we'll try this first. We have plenty of time. It's not even the morning yet, or the second day. Oh man, come on. Like, you gotta be like really subtle with your movements on the control stick. Otherwise you can just go really far distances. Here we go. There we go. Okay. I do not remember that segment at all, which is weird because I did it fairly recently as well. Okay, I think that's everything. We can fight against the boss now. In my mind, this is still, I'd say, the best first boss of a 3D Zelda game. Mostly because, like, it's a fairly cut and dry battle, instead of making it like a ultra formulaic, hit weak point, expose weak point, use new item to expose weak point kind of fight. And the thing about Majora's Mask boss fights in general is that there's various avenues for how you could do the fight as well. It's not just use your arrow to hit the eyeball so that it falls down and then you can hit it many, many times with a sword. Oh no! Ah! I put down my shield at the worst possible time! You want to approach them... You want to circle to the left. Okay, because that's what towards where the shield is. There we go. Okay, so this particular part you need to pick up the bombs to attract them. And like the entire dungeon, you might have noticed that it had that recurring thing where the bugs are attracted to the fire, the moths to the flame, so to speak. So they'll become a source of HP for us as well. Are they still alive? Come on, jump! Oh, man. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, I'm back. And the funny thing is, if you come back to this game, back to this particular fight later on, you can just kill him in like 3 hits with the Fierce Deities mask. I blocked. Oh, if I turned into a Deku Scroll, I think that would have stopped him with a spin. Oh, come on! Why were you doing it? Oh boy. Okay. There we go. Oh, it's been a while since I did that fight, but I'm glad, because usually I would kill the boss fight before I could even see the rest of his moveset. Yeah, it's definitely one of the standout first bosses of the series for like 3D Zelda games, because you compare it with like the Goma from Wind Waker or the Dia Baba from Twilight Princess. Like, those are fine for what it is that they set out to do, but in terms of, like, having an actual interesting battle, though, Adult Ball really takes the cake. It's like this weird jungle warrior kind of deal, which I really, really like. I'd say one of the best bosses in 3D Zelda. Definitely one of the best bosses in N64 era Zelda. Oh man, look at this. Oh wow, it's not even 3 hours yet. Okay, good. Making some pretty decent time with this. How it's Tattle that's singing you the song. Alright. And you don't even need voice acting to tell a good story. I remember that was a recurring thing, particularly around the time Skyward Sword came out, is that a big complaint that people had about the Zelda series is that they didn't have voice acting. And the thing is, though, is that, like, as nice as it is to have voice acting, part of what made Zelda stand out, again, I mentioned this earlier, is that they use the little nuances, all the little cues and tells in order to tell a decent story. They didn't need to go all out with the dramatic stuff. They didn't need to go all out with, like, voice direction and casting in order to tell what was a very impactful and memorable story. And you compare that with, like, yeah, like this game, a prime example. Not to mention that the voices in your head that read out the dialogue tend to be more fitting anyways. Like, I still hold that this has the best story out of all the Zelda games, too. Like, it's not as streamlined as, say, like a Twilight Princess or a Skyward Sword, but because a lot of the story hinges upon you going into the day-to-day stuff of everyone in the world and making Termina feel like a real lived-in place, it goes a long way, and that's something that I think more games should try to embrace as well. Okay, here's the thing. The next thing that we need to do is get the Mask of Scent, and I think that's the only thing that we can do. I can always double check to see if we can get the Camaro's Mask. I can double check to see if we can get the Camaro's Mask, but I feel like that needs to be with a Lens of Truth. Because the good thing about the Camaro's Mask, though, is that as long as it's nighttime, he's there. So if that's all it takes, but if not, then I can just end the stream there. And in between streams, what I might end up doing is picking up some heart pieces and empty bottles. Honestly, I liked the voice casting of Breath of the Wild, but the voice direction was severely lacking, which is unfortunate because everyone in that cast had done some pretty good stuff in the past, which is unfortunate, because, like, you'd think that because this would be, like, the first time we've had a fully voiced Zelda game, that they would have been more particular to that particular detail. But again, it's one of those things where I said where sometimes not having sophisticated technology is what results in them going all out with what they do have and being very creative with the stuff that they use. Because yeah, this particular game, a lot of the storytelling, it's not about having the high-res models. This game doesn't even look particularly good, but what it does do is convey a proper atmosphere and have a properly constructed world that takes place within a game. And that's what makes this game so valuable to me, and why I still like it to this day, even after playing so many other games out there. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to retrieve the Great Fairy as well. Wait, hang on. Okay, hang on, we have to take a bit of a detour. Yeah, that's the other thing too, is that because they had so little to work with, they had to do everything they could to make ends meet, and it's that desperation that inspires creativity. And that's something that a lot of games don't necessarily have. A lot of games, they're very ambitious, which is good, but it's like they had to use technology as a substitute. And this is a thing that's recurring in film, is where like telling a very interesting or unique story isn't something that people necessarily would pay a lot of particular attention to, but those stories do exist. I feel like I went the wrong way. Let's figure this out. Oh, but no, we just have to do this. I was thinking, like, I haven't actually done this in a while. But yeah, like, it's one of those things too. I'm going to be looking forward to streaming this more often, but I think in between streams I'll be looking for some more masks, more empty bottles. Like, I'm pretty much just going to try to, like, recover everything that I can while I can. I have the 3D remake, but I still have it in the shrink wrap that it came in. I'll probably just hold on to it. Like, I saw that there were changes. I don't mind the changes necessarily. It would certainly make it easier for people that are more used to non-retro games. But I've said before at the beginning of the stream, and I'll continue saying this for as long as we're doing these streams too, is that the dated visuals are what make this game so special to me. Oh, we're also... Okay, before we quit also, we're gonna have to deposit and try to ensure that we have some more money for a wallet upgrade. Okay, so this is the reason why it's such a standout. Because normally, in Ocarina of Time, you'd have to charge up to get the special spin, but instead... Yes! It used to be that we would need to charge up in order to get the upgraded spin, but now it's just input. It's what I thought of with like in Mega Man Zero, where you put in specific inputs to get the good attacks, or you could charge it up like a loser. Like, that's the thing, like, I know that people want a Switch Pro to be a thing, and that's good. I don't think that's a bad thing, but the thing is, though, is that, in my opinion, the ceiling for what is considered reasonable in terms of graphical fidelity and graphical, like, cutting-edge technology, essentially, for visuals, I feel like it's long been reached. Now, if you want games to look good, you need to invest millions of dollars, millions if not billions of dollars, to make it look as photorealistic as possible. But I think now I'm at a point where, like, you know, the Switch, it's a very, very weak console. I'm pretty sure it's comparable to, like, advanced mobile phones at this point. But the thing is, though, is that being more creative with limited technology, first of all, it's cheaper, meaning that more developers can make games, can make their creative games without predicting guaranteed losses. So there's that element to it. What is this? So you have that going on, and then you also have the issue of, like, most games will focus more on the art direction instead of focusing on how making it look as real as possible. Not to say that those realistic-looking games are bad, that they shouldn't exist at all, but for more creative voices to exist, those creative voices need to be able to have a platform from which they can work off of without fear of, you know, making themselves bankrupt and having to take out a third mortgage on their house. Okay, hey, we did it all in about one game day. Look at these graphics. I mean, come on. Look at this animation. All right. Although granted, we are kind of skipping through text as well. Okay, so the next thing on the list is to get this scent mask. I'll have to look up the bottles later. Yeah, because there's like, I think there's like 6 empty bottles in this game. 6 or 5, more than 4. I know that much. Or maybe there is only 4. I actually can't remember. That's out of the way. The thing is, though, the Butler race is kind of similar to, like, the Dante race in Ocarina of Time, except it's not a race where you need to beat him in order to get a reward. So that's something to look forward to. We're slowly getting used to the platforming again. You know what's a game that I'd love to see taken to Virtual Console? Oh! Why? Just as I was saying, I was getting used to the platforming of this game. You know what I'd love to see? Like, this is making me wish that Banjo and Kazooie was available on Nintendo consoles. Okay, we have to aim manually. I remember playing Banjo-Kazooie in a McDonald's somewhere, way back in the day. I remember playing that. I remember also playing a Pikmin in McDonald's once. I remember playing a Pikmin and cackling like a maniac because I was like piling all these Pikmin onto a ball board, a singular, low and small dwarf ball board. Honestly, if they ended up porting Majora's Mask to Switch for, oh man, here's the thing though that worries me about getting an anniversary. The thing that bothers me about having a 35th anniversary collection like they did for Mario is that it'll be a limited release, and for the physical copy, assuming they have one, is going to be super high. Wait, bunny hood. It's gonna be super high, and I like physical copies a lot, is my problem. I like the physical copies of games a lot. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Wait, but he's gonna leave a marking for me, right? Oh boy. No, no. Well, we had the bunny hood to make up the difference. Hang on. I like physical copy. That's actually that's really my only point. I like physical copies of games, and if it's a Zelda, and if it's Majora's Mask related, then I'll definitely want one. So I guess I'll just not. I'll just not spend on anything, which is fine because I've already spent quite a bit on games as it is. Because I bought Kingdom Hearts recently for the PlayStation 4, the all-in-one collection. I bought the all-in-one collection, so I'll be getting to the Kingdom Hearts series, which is something I've wanted to do for quite some time. So yeah, you know what? I don't mind not spending for quite some time in the name of Majora's Mask, if that ends up being a thing. But if not, then yeah, no problem. Because I don't want it digital. Like, I bought digital for a bunch of games, and I've regretted it the majority of the time simply because I like having it on the shelf. I like seeing it. It's kind of like why people like having like physical copies of movies instead of making it go digital. Instead of getting the digital copy for a movie, they get a physical copy, and it's just like, you know, we have this thing that's nice. Oh boy. Because yeah, like all my PC games as well, they're all digital, and I guess you can't escape it because the majority of the time you would have to install directly onto the computer anyway. But like having like a Doom Eternal box would be nice. Okay, wait, so if I use the Mask of Sense... I'll have to figure it out. Yeah, I feel like in between streams I'd probably have to work on getting upgrades anyway. So there's quite a bit of stuff we'll do even after the camera stops rolling as well. Okay, next up... Before we check for the Kamaro's mask, we need to go to the bank. Other than that though, I mean... I've said this before during the No More Heroes stream, but the thing about porting this game, like that's a possibility for the 35th anniversary, but I feel like it would most likely just end up being news for the Breath of the Wild sequel. I feel like that would be more likely, or in the very least we'll get an update. We might not even get like a release date or anything like that, but just like an update. Maybe a subtitle or something. Because Nintendo's always been very particular about the Zelda series. Like, once a year we get a Zelda-related thing. Alright. We'd have to come back later, but... Okay, what can we do now that would result in masks? Because I don't want to do the Cafe and Anju side quest until we get to Iconic Canyon. Is there anything else that I could do? Like, okay, if there's anything outstanding right now, I should know about it. Well, actually, we could make our way to Snowhead. We could probably make our way to Snowhead. To be precise about this. Or at least make our way to the mountains and then unlock the warp from there. Maybe that's an idea? Really? Okay, do it again. Nope. The laundry pool? Like, I could, but there's nothing really for me there. There we go. Okay, you know what we could do? So that we save now and then open a warp point. Oof. Okay, hang on, let's make it nighttime. So if we end up getting the Kamara mask, then that's good. If not, also good. And then off screen, I'll just make my way towards the rest of Snowhead, get all the upgrades essentially, so that by the time we start the next stream, we'll be ready. Oh, I already got the Bremen mask. Would it have to be like 12 o'clock? I thought it was all night. Anyways, it's fine. Oh yeah, also this is like a big money farming spot during the day, so I'll definitely come back to here later. We might as well just get this out of the way, then open up the owl statue, then we'll go back in time. See, that's the thing I like about this game, is that you can route all of your, you can route how the first 4 dungeons go, so that by the time you get to the ending of the game, it shouldn't take you that long to get all 24 masks. Ooh, I'd also probably put on the bomb mask. It's 12 o'clock, okay. Because yeah, I didn't hear any music, and I feel like there's supposed to be some music going on. Alright. What does this say? Gora should be able to break snow boulders easily. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Mr. can transform into anything. Okay. Yeah, there's the Dongero's mask that we don't have to worry about for now. And there's the warp. And I think we're good. We're good to go. So, making sure that we have everything we need. And yes. Actually, no, wait, no, we can't do this yet. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna speed up the time until 12 o'clock, then we're gonna check if we can get Dongero. By the time that happens, yeah, we'll be out of time. Alright. Made it. Sweet. Now, the next thing on our list... Because the thing is, generally speaking, and the reason why it doesn't bother me that there is a constant countdown, is because there are key moments in the game where you'll be just fine. Like, you don't have to do what we did today, where we unlock the dungeon, then immediately do the dungeon all in one time cycle. What you could also just do is... yeah, just do the quest that unlocks the dungeon, then go back to the first day, then warp to that dungeon, and then do the entire thing at the beginning of the next time cycle. It's not as interesting narratively speaking, but it is a thing that you can do to make the game a lot easier for you. Oh yeah, there's also this. Wow. Yeah, and then I think off stream I'll just farm some rupees, do some mini games, the usual stuff, the stuff that I like. That doesn't necessarily make for good watching. We'll be back in 4 hours. But yeah, no, definitely like a standout game. It does have its rough edges. I'm not saying that it's like such a timeless game that like anyone could pick it up. It's like one of those not for everybody kinds of games, I think, because there's a lot of the you need to have perfect execution for specific parts to prevent you from getting a lot of headaches. And for me, I've practiced this game a lot that the execution stuff doesn't bother me as much. But I can imagine that it would be like a deal-breaking factor for a lot of other people. Oh, do you know what? Since we're here, I'm going to talk about a couple of plans that we have for the channel. For those of you guys that are looking forward to the Age of Calamity character showcase, we are continuing. We got 3 coming up in the coming week, so we'll be starting on Monday. Yeah, you can get the first of the 3 showcases that I have planned for this week. It'll be every other day, so it'll be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then after that, I do not know. I don't really see much reason to continue with Age of Calamity because a lot of farming stuff is fairly self-explanatory. It's a very streamlined game. There isn't really much. I just wanted to showcase because I liked each of the characters. I like showing off why each of them are fun. What else? Also, for those of you guys that missed earlier parts of this stream, don't worry about it. We are going to be chopping up the segments of the stream for sort of like a highlight reel, almost. I guess we'll call it a highlight reel. It's a weird way to put it down. But yeah, have a different highlight. It'll probably be like an hour-long video chopped together, maybe, by the time that we're done all of this. So, yeah, do that. And that should be coming out, yeah, just about just in time for the 35th anniversary, so that's great, too. Oh, also, if you guys are wondering, the reason why we're streaming Majora's Mask, I figured, you know what, 2021, new year, year of the ox, lots of cows, and this game has a segment of the game where there are aliens trying to hijack cows. It's very strange. This game's awesome. So yeah, we can do that. I figured, you know what, we haven't played, it's going to be the 35th anniversary of my favorite series, so I might as well go back to my favorite game in the series as well. Majora's Mask always has a special place in my heart, so I want to do that. I did a stream event way back in 2017, and the technology that I had wasn't necessarily up to snuff, so I wanted to bring it back under some new technology, using a nice HDMI to AV, or AV to HDMI adapter. I remember hearing that there's like a GameCube HDMI adapter. Oh, hey, you don't need the lens. Oh, awesome. I see, like, yeah, there's an HDMI adapter in, for the GameCube, and it's just, like, it costs, like, so much money. And apparently it also has the potential to break. It has the ability to brick your GameCubes, apparently. Or something, like, I don't know. Like, I saw some thumbnails. It could have just been some drama. But yeah, I looked at that and it's like, okay, there's that. But then the HDMI AV adapter that I have right now that I'm using for the stream that you're watching, it costed like $20. If it breaks, I mean, it's just another $20 that I can get. But so far it's done well while I've streamed this game. As long as I don't drop it, it seems very lightweight. I feel like if I like put something on top of it, I might end up breaking. And also, it'll be a nice way for us to get back into doing some old GameCube games, too, on the channel, so that'll be fun. Okay, so that is another mask. How many masks did we get? Nice. Okay, that's decent. So that's 7 out of the 24. Making some pretty good time with it. I know the Cafe and Andrew's side quests has... I know that there's an empty bottle for one of the branching parts of the Cafe and Andrew quest, but I probably won't go for it immediately. Hmm. I know the Cafe and Andrew side quest has like 3 or 4 masks that you have to go through. I think like 4 masks. There's the Cafe mask, there's the Keaton mask, Postman's hat, and then the reward for finishing it. There we go. Should have been a Taunton Smash Bros. There should have been Young Link's final smash. So, can I just say, I've always liked the outfits of the guards in the N64 games. They have shorts for some reason, and I'm 100% okay with that. Okay, got ourselves a new heart container. Yeah, that's a complete one. Perfect. Now we can go back in time. It's a disaster here. Oh no. Okay. Now we can go back in time. Ah, this game's beautiful. And we're right back at it again. Okay, so guys, thank you very, very much for joining me on the first of what is going to be quite a few streams of Majora's Mask. Thank you for joining me on this very special game. And we're going to be continuing again next week at the usual time. I'm going to try to finish this game before the anniversary, which is in February. So, gonna probably off-screen do some additional stuff. But until then, guys, thank you very, very much for joining. See you guys next time. Again, if you guys are looking forward to the Age of Calamity Character Showcase, we're going to be having 3 coming up in the coming week, so I hope to see you guys there as well. But until then, thank you for joining. Have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves out there. Happy New Year to all of you guys that are joining us live. Hello to all of you guys in the archive. Thank you for tolerating me and my nonsense. And I will see you guys next time. Good night. Well, morning, actually.